Russian army units have attempted to launch an attack on the settlement of Vishnovoye near the city of Pokrovsk in eastern Donetsk region. However, the attack has been stopped by Ukrainian drones. Several servicemen were killed and wounded as a result of drone strikes on the invaders who were trying to advance. The footage, which was shared on Telegram channels, was filmed by Russian soldiers. The Russian soldiers, who were forced to return with the dead and wounded, advised their fellow soldiers left behind them to retreat. The Russian soldiers said that it was impossible to advance and that the drones posed a serious threat.
Нет, 300-го хотя бы, вон 3 300-х у них.
Это 200?
Это эти 200, все. Там 200, тут 200.
Вот так?
Тихо, тихо всем!
Ту, помогай! Давай, давай! Держись, держись, держись! Держись!
Все, Влад, Володь, быстрее! Держи автомат! Где малой? Идем сюда, его поднимем. Тихо, тихо. Давай, вставай. Держишься, все.
Все, брат.
Нормально, кто ушел, пидор? Ушел? Ушел, ушел, вон он висит. Вот он, сука, разворачивается! Ебать, вот он, вот он! Бать, у нас есть 5.
Помогай, помогай! Давай.
Где еще один?
Загрузили уже!
Давай! Давай, уебай! Давай, 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 давай!
Так, кто мои?
Переждать надо! Бля, мужики красавцы, спасибо вам!
Лети!
Летите!
Я 300,
Что у тебя? Давай. Пацаны! Ходить сможешь? Блять, еще одного 300-го надо забрать! Пацаны! Блять, малой 300, ебать! Да походу твой, который вот в очках был.
ну нахуй! Марли!
Вот он. Где он? Вот он, вот он, вот он.
Марли!
Нормально?
Где?
Вот, блядь.
Я его даже вывести не могу.
Вишневое. Вишневое. Тут пиздец. Тормози их, разворачивай их.
Стой, 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 стой! 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 Стой, 300-й!
Бля! Там пизда, пацаны!
Надо быстрее
Лучше
обратно.
не езжайте, разворачивайтесь,
Там
и 300-го заберите.
Давай, заберите 300-го.
Лучше. Если людей не хочешь потерять, не езжай, братан.
Давай, родной.
Да здесь, везде, там дальше вообще пизда. Лучше.
Смотришь, я приеду сейчас за мотоциклом.
Давай, давай, разворачивайся, уебай лучше. Давай быстрее только, ладно? Не езжай лучше, не езжай, пизда, вообще пизда.
During his speech at the Munich Security Conference, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russia could soon accumulate a contingent of up to 150,000 troops on the territory of Belarus and pose a threat to neighboring countries. The words of the President of Ukraine shocked many in Europe because, from a high rostrum, a completely realistic scenario of a threat was voiced, which many in the West try not to think about. Obos Revetel media outlet says that it is noteworthy that literally on the eve of Volodymyr Zelensky's speech in Munich, the Danish Foreign and Military Intelligence Service published the report Forecast 2024, which voiced the threat of Russia's invasion of Europe within the next 5 years. Europe should remember the past, namely 2022, when, under the cover of the Allied Determination 2022 exercises, Russia transferred a 40,000-strong group to Belarus, which invaded Ukraine on February the 24th. At that time, this was the largest concentration of Russian troops ever deployed on the territory of the Republic of Belarus. Moreover, almost all of these troops had a full complement of equipment and short-term reserves. In other words, Russia has experience in deploying a large contingent on the territory of Belarus, and the Russian occupation troops will be able to do this in a similar way under the cover of the West 2025 exercises. As of now, there are slightly more than 2,000 Russian military personnel on the territory of the Republic of Belarus. In particular, they are stationed at the following facilities: Radio Engineering Center Baranovichi and the 43rd Communication Center Velika, about 1,450 personnel. Baranovichi, Zyabrivka and Mozir airfields, about 530 people. 313th Military Prosecutor's Office of the Garrison and 484th Military Investigation Department, about 20 people. 1,405th Artillery Ammunition Base, about 20 people. PMC Wagner, about 100 bodies. These are mainly crews of air defense systems, electronic warfare and electronic warfare systems, service personnel, etc. This is not a combat group of ground forces, which may be capable of performing tasks within the framework of combined arms offensive operations. I attribute this to the fact that our political elite is trying to find some arguments for Europe to continue supporting Ukraine. The Russians' plans for an offensive through Belarus on Kyiv may exist. The experience of 2022 shows that 100,000 is clearly not enough to implement any strategic plans. Moreover, they now have problems with equipment and personnel training. Ukrainian military expert Mikhail Zyrokov said. He added that the Russian army is now significantly weaker than it was at the beginning of the full-scale invasion. After all, back then, in 2022, the Ukrainian Defense Forces ground up the elite of the Russian army in the Kiev and Chernihiv regions. I mean, first of all, paratroopers, and therefore to expect that former prisoners and mobilized troops will have the ability to fully advance on Kyiv, where more serious preparation is needed, I do not think that the Russians are capable of organizing such a strategic operation in the near future. The advance in Donetsk is now hundreds of meters, and some kind of breakthrough, this is from the realm of fantasy, added Zyrokov. Today, Russia is suffering such serious losses in Ukraine that it cannot threaten European countries. But as soon as the level of losses begins to decrease, this threat will begin to increase sharply.